The Second World War. So, after World War I, Europe was about to blow up again. Benito Mussolini in Italy and Adolf Hitler in Germany both rose to power and both wanted to make the Allies pay. First, Germany strengthened their military and remilitarized the Rhineland. Despite this breaking the Treaty of Versailles, the Allies did nothing. Germany then annexed Austria. Again, the Allies did nothing. Germany then demanded the Sudetenland, an area of Czechoslovakia with many ethnic Germans. The leaders of Germany, Italy, France, and Britain then met in Munich, and they agreed to give Germany the Sudetenland if they don't invade the rest of Czechoslovakia. Poland and Hungary also took advantage of this by taking some more land from Czechoslovakia. Afterwards, Germany invaded the rest of Czechoslovakia, with Bohemia and Moravia becoming a protectorate, Slovakia gaining independence, and Hungary taking the Carpathian Ruthenia. Italy then decided to do something, seizing control of Albania and using their African colonies, Eritrea and the Italian Somaliland, to invade Ethiopia, uniting the three into Italian East Africa. Hitler and Joseph Stalin of the Soviet Union then signed a non-aggression pact and agreed to split Europe between the two of them. Germany invaded Poland, causing the Allies to declare war on Germany and officially starting World War II. As the Germans advanced from the west, the Soviets advanced from the east, crushing Poland. The east of Poland was incorporated into Belarus and Ukraine, while Germany annexed the west and north, with the south becoming the general government. The Soviets then decided to invade Finland to give Leningrad more breathing room. The Soviets did manage to win the war against Finland, but they lost many men in the process. Meanwhile, the British decided to blockade the Norwegian ports, stopping Sweden from trading iron to Germany. This led to Germany rushing through Denmark and invading Norway to allow the iron trade with Sweden. While this was happening, the Soviet Union annexed the Baltic states and Bessarabia. The Germans then pushed through Luxembourg, the Netherlands, and Belgium. They also punched through the Ardennes forest, encircling the Allies. The British managed to escape at Dunkirk, but France was not so lucky. Aside from Italy joining the war now, Paris was quickly captured and France surrendered. The north was occupied by Germany and the south became a puppet known as Vichy France. Despite this, Winston Churchill and the United Kingdom refused to surrender. This led to the Battle of Britain as the Germans attempted to gain air superiority, but the British came out on top. Anyway, the French colonies in Africa soon were under control of the Axis due to France's surrender. However, French Equatorial Africa refused to join the Axis and joined the Allies. Then, the Italians took over British Somaliland, invaded Egypt, and attempted to attack Greece. Greece, however, pushed back. Germany now had to invade the Balkans. Hungary then joined the Axis and gained northern Transylvania from Romania. Romania also decided to join for protection against the Soviets. They did lose some land to Romania though. Yugoslavia then joined the Axis but left after a coup. Germany was not happy and invaded Yugoslavia along with Hungary, Italy, and Bulgaria. They then finally defeated Greece. With that, the Germans then began their next phase, Operation Barbarossa. They rushed through the Soviet Union, encircling armies and taking a lot of land. Three main groups were marching, one north to Leningrad, one in the center to Moscow, and one south to Ukraine. Finland took advantage of this and also invaded the Soviet Union. Germany sieged Leningrad and made Reich commissariats out of their occupied territories. Now, their ally Japan was also beginning to stir. They were originally fighting the Chinese, but it wasn't going well. They did get French into China after the Germans defeated France, but there were still many more colonies in Southeast Asia, and there was no way they could defeat them right now. So, they decided to weaken the Americans by bombing Pearl Harbor. Many ships were severely damaged by the Japanese attack. With the Americans supposedly not a threat anymore, they initiated their plan. With the help of Thailand, they invaded the American colony of the Philippines, British Malaya, British Borneo, the Dutch East Indies, and British Burma. They also pushed more and more into China. As the Japanese entered the Philippines, General Douglas MacArthur had to leave, promising that I shall return. The Japanese forced the Americans and Filipinos to go on a death march, where many died of starvation. The Americans did fight back, however, when 16 planes bombed Tokyo, specifically targeting military and industrial targets. The Japanese then planned to capture Port Moresby, leading to the Battle of the Coral Sea, the first naval battle between aircraft carriers. The Japanese also planned to attack Midway by attacking the Aleutian Islands first to lure the Midway defenses. However, the Americans broke the Japanese secret code and stayed put, leading to a decisive American victory. The Nazis were having trouble of their own. They planned on taking the city of Stalingrad, despite not being that prepared. There was heavy fighting and many losses on both sides, but in the end, the Nazis lost and got pushed back. The British, Free French, and Americans were also pushing the Axis out of Africa. As their last forces were being crushed in North Africa, the Allies used Tunisia to land in Sicily. As the Allies began to push in more, Mussolini was kicked out and Italy surrendered. Hitler was not happy about this and rushed to secure as much of Italy as possible. It was now time to open another front. They made the Germans think they were going to land there, but actually invaded Normandy. As the Germans began to be crushed, Romania and Bulgaria switched sides and most of Europe was liberated. As they began to push into Germany, the assassination plan Valkyrie was put into motion, hiding a bomb in a briefcase. However, it failed. Hitler, not yet seeing the writing on the wall, attempted to encircle the Allies through the Ardennes Forest again. This led to the Battle of the Bulge, which the Allies successfully won. Then, one of Hitler's trusted military leaders betrayed him in an attempt to become the leader of Germany. He was arrested, but Hitler's right-hand man secretly negotiated with the Allies about the surrender of Germany. Hitler was not happy. But as his final days ticked near, the leader of Germany married his sweetheart in the bunker with a small wedding party. He named this guy his successor. On April 29th, here the barbaric way Mussolini was executed. A day after, he poisoned his dogs, and then he and his wife committed suicide, him by a gunshot and her by poison. Within a week after Hitler's death, Karl surrendered, ending the European Axis. Japan was also not doing so good. They lost the largest of the Solomon Islands to America, along with the Aleutians, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa. MacArthur also kept his promise and liberated the Philippines. However, the Japanese fought fiercely and never surrendered, so the Americans decided to drop their new nuclear bomb. As the end drew nearer for the Japanese Empire, boom! On August 6, 1945, Little Boy made out of uranium was dropped on Hiroshima. Then, on August 9th, Fat Man made of plutonium was dropped on Nagasaki. And, with the Soviets advancing into Manchuria and US President Harry Truman considering a third bomb, the Japanese surrendered, ending World War II. Thank you for watching!